He was a father of 3, a husband for over 2 decades, and a man who loved both his family traditions and the rush of American ambition. No one, not even his closest friends, could have predicted that a quiet Thanksgiving evening would end with his blood on silk sheets, and a mystery that would shatter lives across 2 continents. He was a father of 3, a husband for over 2 decades, and a man who balanced tradition with ambition. On Thanksgiving night in 2024, he was supposed to be miles away in Dubai with his family, not lying dead in a Detroit mansion with blood seeping into Egyptian cotton sheets. At 3:47 a.m., a call came into Detroit's emergency dispatch center. A woman's voice, panicked and trembling, reported a home invasion. Officers raced to 1247 Lakeshore Drive, a waterfront property known for discretion, wealth, and silence. Inside, they found 52-year-old Sheikh Khalil Abdul Azim, face down, lifeless, murdered in his own bed. Standing nearby, shaking and whispering prayers through tears, was 34-year-old Maya Beaumont. She wore satin sleepwear stained red, arms marked with what appeared to be defensive wounds. She told police she woke to breaking glass, heard men shouting, and saw Khalil go downstairs to confront them. Minutes later, silence. Maya said she fled the bedroom when she heard a loud crash, only to find him barely breathing. Paramedics couldn't resuscitate him. Nothing was taken, expensive watches were untouched, cash unopened, and furnishings seemed oddly placed, as if chaos had been recreated, not caused. Detectives noticed a subtle pattern. Drawers all opened uniformly, valuables left in plain sight, no forced entry. Detective Zion Parker, a seasoned homicide investigator, knew something wasn't right. Khalil was a billionaire investor based in Dubai, with property across London, New York, and Detroit. His family name held weight in the Emirates. But here, he'd lived a second life, quiet, indulgent, and with Maya, who now claimed to be his lover. The media caught wind by noon. A Dubai sheikh murdered on American soil in the company of his mistress. As photos of Maya circulated, questions erupted. Who was she? What was she doing there? Why had Khalil come to Detroit without security? Maya offered tearful answers through muffled sobs, but none seemed to match the holes detectives were starting to notice. The scene was tragic, but too perfect to be true. Before we dive deeper into this unforgettable video, make sure to like the video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon. That way, you'll never miss any new coming videos like this. Now, let's get back to it. Born into privilege but driven by ambition, Sheikh Khalil Abdul Azim was not content with merely inheriting his father's legacy. As the 3rd son of Ahmed Abdul Azim, one of Dubai's most powerful shipping magnates, he had access to a life most could only imagine: private jets, royal tables, deals worth millions. But Khalil didn't want to just manage family wealth. He wanted to grow it across borders. In 1993, at only 21, he attended Harvard Business School, where he was exposed to American capitalism, culture, and freedom. That taste of independence never truly left him. After graduating in 1997, duty called him back to the UAE. In 1998, as expected by tradition, he married Fatima al-Rashid, educated, elegant, and from an equally powerful family. She bore him 3 children and built a respectable home in Dubai. From the outside, he lived the perfect life: devoted family man, successful entrepreneur, and cultural ambassador. But the perfectly curated image was a mask. By 2018, Khalil's business trips to America grew more frequent, and Detroit quickly became his preferred hub. The city had potential properties were cheap, the market was growing, and no one there asked questions about who he was or what he was escaping. To the American public, he wasn't royalty, just a wealthy international investor with big ideas and private money. Enter Maya Beaumont. Smart, culturally aware, and ambitious, she specialized in high-end real estate, fluent in English, Hindi, and Arabic. She wasn't just attractive, she was useful. When Khalil arrived in her office to view a $4.2 million mansion in Detroit's luxury district, he was instantly captivated. Unlike the polished socialites in Dubai, Maya asked difficult questions and offered bold opinions. She understood both worlds, the pride of heritage and the pull of independence. They talked business, then culture, then art. Within weeks, she became central to his American visits. He gave her purpose. She gave him peace. Business dinners turned intimate. Meetings blurred into weekend retreats. To Khalil, she was a reminder of who he once was in Boston, young, free, admired. And to Maya, he was the key to the life she thought she deserved and was willing to fight for. The relationship between Khalil and Maya drifted from professional to personal, with the subtle precision of two people pretending they weren't crossing every line. What began as consultation on furniture styles and managing a new home slowly transformed into quiet dinners, shared laughter, and long weekends cloaked in luxury. Khalil admired Maya's intellect, her ability to make him feel understood without judgment. Maya was drawn to the world he brought with him. The car that appeared in her driveway without warning, the envelope of cash he'd hand her for expenses, the quiet way he took up space like someone who expected the world to yield. By spring 2023, their arrangement became official, but still unspoken. Khalil put Maya on a $15,000 monthly retainer, gifted her a BMW i8, and approved a credit card in her name for business use, though clearly not limited to it. She never had to ask. He offered. And yet, beneath the glittering surface, a more complex truth took root. Maya had to be available when he arrived, no questions, no conflicts. She built her entire schedule around his calendar and rearranged her life with the unspoken hope that it would someday become permanent. Her friends noticed a change. She became secretive, evasive, less present at gatherings, more withdrawn from her parents. Whenever they asked about where her new wealth came from, she dismissed it with smiles and vague talk of international clients and sudden career success. Only she and Khalil knew the truth. She was the secret. Publicly, Khalil was still the dutiful family man in Dubai, the same man who posed for photos with Fatima at galas and made appearances with his children at their elite schools. Maya, meanwhile, lived in a shadow world of almost acknowledged, almost chosen, almost secure. The luxury became intoxicating but suffocating, and what she once viewed as romance began to feel like entrapment. As the months passed, she began to wonder what would happen if Khalil ever got bored. What her place would be if she was no longer useful. Because the one thing he had never offered her was something she thought she already had: permanence. The illusion shattered on a quiet morning in early November 2024. Khalil had flown in late the previous night after a business trip to Singapore and immediately fallen asleep while reviewing emails on his laptop. By morning, Maya was making coffee when she noticed the device still open, screen glowing. His inbox was accessible. He had forgotten to log out. For a few agonizing seconds, she hesitated, torn between trust and temptation. Then curiosity won. What began as a glance became hours of stunned stillness. She scrolled through years of correspondence, beginning with casual messages to family, then detailed financial discussions with offshore advisors, and finally, intimate threads between Khalil and two other women. Isabel Lauron, an art dealer in London. Sophia Chen, a marketing executive in New York. Both were receiving financial support, apartments, allowances, luxury gifts. The arrangement mirrored hers. Same language of care. Same promises of privacy. Same gifts rebranded for love. The realization came like a knife to the chest. She was just one chapter in a longer book he had written before. The emails revealed birthday plans, vacation itineraries, messages that mirrored the ones he had sent her. He wasn't just cheating on his wife. He was cheating on each of them. What was worse? Just 2 weeks prior, he had initiated steps to begin dissolving his American holdings. He was planning to sell properties, cut off his consultants, and return to a more focused life in Dubai. No formal farewell, no warning, just silence wrapped in a transactional exit. Maya sat alone at the kitchen island, laptop before her, granite cool against her arms as her heart pounded harder than she could remember. Everything, her time, her loyalty, her belief, had been invested in a lie. The gifts, the funds, the dreams, even the man himself had been a carefully molded illusion meant to satisfy Khalil's needs, not hers. And while most people would walk away with their pride shattered, Maya was not most people. She felt rage, icy, and electric. As resentment fused with betrayal, a new emotion emerged, something more dangerous than heartbreak. A plan. Maya didn't scream or cry or confront him. She didn't walk away or beg for answers. Instead, she opened a new search tab. For days, she researched everything quietly: Detroit crime statistics, home invasion methods, inheritance laws, forensic countermeasures. She learned that if Khalil died on American soil without a clear beneficiary, his U.S. assets could be contested and frozen indefinitely. His wife in Dubai might not have immediate access. She discovered what injuries looked convincing enough to fool first responders, how long police usually took to respond to 911 calls in rich neighborhoods, and how to disable security footage without tripping digital alerts. A woman scorned, betrayed, and now feels erased doesn't always seek closure. Sometimes she seeks control. He had given her access to his life. Now she was reading his trust as permission. On November 18th, the invitation was sent through a gentle message that masked her boiling fury. "There's something important I want to talk about before the year ends. About us." Khalil, believing Maya was finally ready to talk about expectations, respect, maybe deeper commitment, adjusted his travel plans and promised to arrive by November 19th. She greeted him at the airport as always, cool smile, confident tone, warmth that calmed guilt. He never suspected a thing. Over the next few days, she planned each step like a blueprint. She noted his bedtime routine, the security camera schedule, and the alarm system reset code they'd once chosen together. She picked the weapon, a crystal paperweight he had gifted her months earlier. Heavy, solid, sentimental. She rehearsed the story, heard a break-in, tried to escape, he went to confront them. She played it again and again in her head like lines from a play. She staged a broken back door. She applied makeup to mimic bruises. She scratched herself just enough to bleed. On Thanksgiving night, she cooked his favorite meal, poured his favorite wine, laughed at his stories. He told her he was thankful for their time, thankful for peace. As he drifted off to sleep in her arms, Maya whispered something so low he didn't hear it. "I'm sorry, but I won't be forgotten." At 1:12 a.m. on November 23rd, the mansion was silent except for the sound of Khalil's steady breathing. He lay peacefully in bed, unaware that the woman beside him was awake and calculating. Maya had rehearsed this moment 100 times. She eased out of bed, careful not to wake him, and moved through the house like a shadow. Cameras had already been disabled earlier that day, with what would later appear to be a routine electrical failure. She entered the office, opened the drawer where Khalil kept important documents, and removed 2 files, one about his Detroit holdings and another listing offshore accounts. She hid them behind the dining room paneling, a location known only to her. In the kitchen, she placed a crowbar by the back door, then used it to lightly damage the wood from the inside out, creating the illusion of forced entry. She knocked over a lamp, cracked a picture frame, and scattered drawer contents in the hallway to fabricate panic. Her final step before returning upstairs was the weapon. The smooth, crystal paperweight still sparkled even under dim lighting. It had been on his nightstand for months, an intimate, quiet part of the room's decor. Now it was her chosen truth. When she returned to the bedroom, Khalil had shifted in his sleep. One arm above his head, mouth slightly open. He looked peaceful, trusting. In that moment, she didn't feel rage. She felt clarity. The first blow landed hard against the side of his skull. He gasped but didn't wake. She did it again, then again. There was no scream, only the thud of impact and the sound of blood wetting the sheets. After it was over, she sat beside him shaking, her limbs buzzing with adrenaline, her mind racing through every contingency. At 3:30 a.m., she placed the 911 call, panic in her voice. tears pressed into every word. "They came in, they hurt him. I couldn't stop them." Police arrived to find Maya slumped near his body, trembling, injured, shattered. But behind the tears and blood was a woman who believed she had just committed the perfect crime. Detective Zion Parker had seen hundreds of crime scenes in his 14 years with Detroit PD, but something about this one made his instincts scream. The forced entry at the back door was too superficial, scratches made with precision but no real effort. Nothing was stolen, yet Maya claimed armed robbers demanded money and tried to ransack the house. Expensive watches were untouched. Khalil's wallet, phone, and keys were still on the bedside table. The only items missing were paperwork and his laptop. And then there was Maya herself, crying, trembling, emotionally shattered, but her story never shifted once. Too perfect, too rehearsed. Parker asked her to walk him through it again and again. Each time, the same details, same words, same pauses. Most victims struggle to recall details consistently. Maya's recall was sharp, even in grief. When the security company revealed the interior cameras had suffered a strange power surge around midnight that disrupted recording, Parker's suspicions deepened. Then came the phone records. Khalil had spoken to his wife in Dubai at 12:40 a.m. for nearly 40 minutes. Calmly, lovingly, he had promised to return home sooner than expected and even discussed a new business restructuring plan. There was no mention of trouble, no stress in his voice. Digital forensics revealed incriminating searches on Maya's devices, queries about inheritance law, how murder scenes are investigated, how to fake bruises, and how common law relationships could claim property. Then came the break in her story. Detectives found Khalil's laptop, wiped but still recoverable, hidden in the back of Maya's bedroom closet. Security footage from boutique stores showed her shopping hours after the murder, looking calm, scrolling her phone while sipping coffee. It was clear to Parker now, this wasn't just premeditated, it was surgical. Maya had plotted a murder and orchestrated an alibi down to the nuances of her voice. When brought in for questioning again, she cracked under quiet pressure. "He was going to leave me with nothing," she whispered. "He thought he could walk away after everything." In the interrogation room, her eyes were dry now. The performance was over. A billionaire was dead. And the woman who called herself his partner was now his accused killer. The trial began on March 15, 2025, in a courtroom packed with reporters, legal experts, and curious spectators, all eager to see the woman at the center of one of the most sensational murder cases in Detroit's history. Maya Beaumont entered wearing a simple navy suit, her hair tied back, her expression unreadable. The prosecution painted her as a calculated manipulator driven by greed, betrayal, and a desire to hold on to a lifestyle she hadn't earned. They presented her internet history, forged documents, the hidden laptop, and her confession to detectives. They showed journal entries recovered from her apartment where she detailed her rage and her intent to act on it. The defense argued that Maya was emotionally abused, led on, and discarded after giving years of her life to a man who pretended to love her. They claimed the act wasn't premeditated, but the result of a psychological break triggered by abandonment. In the courtroom sat Khalil's wife, Fatima, clothed in black, with their 3 children beside her. She never made a sound, never shed a visible tear, but her presence was a constant reminder of what had been lost. The jury listened as expert witnesses described Maya's psychological profile, her narcissistic traits, her material dependency, and her manipulative behavior. Surveillance footage of her post-murder activities was shown frame by frame, shopping for handbags, texting someone with a smile only hours after the crime. The most powerful moment came when the prosecutor read her own journal aloud. "He made me believe I mattered, but I was just another project to him. He thinks he can just erase me. He can't." Those words lingered in the silent courtroom. On April 28, the jury delivered their verdict: guilty on all counts, first-degree murder, attempted fraud, and obstruction of justice. Maya showed no visible emotion. When sentenced to life in prison without parole, she only blinked once, as if registering a number in a spreadsheet. Outside, Khalil's family released a short statement. Justice does not restore life, but it honors it. May what happened serve as a warning about the cost of secrets and the danger of false love. The story was over, but its echo would last for years. The truth behind the luxury was darker than anyone imagined, and now the mask is gone forever. Subscribe for more real stories that reveal just how far people will go to protect a lie.